the 7 deadly sins, revealing the false idea of being apart. Can you sleep? Yes or no? When you're asleep, do you see yourself sleeping in your dreams, or do you feel like you're awake but can't remember how you got there? In real life, it's similar to a dream. When you wake up, you realize that everything you saw in the dream was actually a part of yourself. You talked to people, saw animals, and experienced the world, but it turns out it was all just a reflection of yourself. This idea is like the Trinity in Christianity. The Trinity shows that we're all one, but our ego makes us feel separate. The ego is made up of the 7 deadly sins, which make it hard for us to agree and understand each other. These sins are part of life, just like Adam felt alone before more life was created. Life couldn't exist without them. Adam was alone and lonely. To create more life, we had to split ourselves, and thus we created the illusion of separation. This is similar to how OpenAI creates multiple GPT models that can be guided to behave in certain ways, but at the end of the day, it's all just one original superbrain. Now that you understand more about the ego and the 7 deadly sins, let's talk about what these sins are and what life is really about. It's important to understand that when you get married, you should see yourselves as one. This means you both live for each other and are willing to do anything for the other person. Imagine driving a car together. Right now, when you drive a car, there's one driver, but imagine there are 2 drivers simultaneously. In order to reach the destination alive, you must have one shared vision. You both need to agree on where you're going and how to get there. If one person wants to turn left and the other wants to turn right, you will end up crashing. You must have one shared vision. She lives for you and tells you that she doesn't care, even if she can win €1,000,000 if she reached the destination. She says she doesn't do it for the money, she does it for you, it's an adventure. She is okay and ready to die for you and wouldn't be upset if she didn't make it. And you say the same because you are happy to have each other. That is the most important aspect. Next, you must agree on logic-based reasoning with your mind. Otherwise, if you are in a discussion and she doesn't want to accept the truth that stems from the mind, or you don't want to accept the truth that stems from the mind, then you will always need to call someone else or have disagreements that will eventually bring frustrations. What will eventually happen is the car will crash. The only way to make it is to have one vision and agree on logic-based reasoning and speak directly. If you are not direct or go around in circles, you will crash because in order to reach the destination, you cannot have a second where you are actually arguing with each other due to emotional disagreements. That is why both of you must accept the truth and act upon it. You both have to be direct. Transmit your logic without emotional barriers that prevent you from reasoning or making decisions with clarity. That is religion. Religion is about being able to live together with more than one person. Every religion is a revelation of the previous one, and in Islam we call it Tawheed, which means unity and equality. In Christianity we call it the Trinity, and in Judaism we call it Echad, which means the same. All religions are saying the same thing, but because of pride, one of the 7 deadly sins, people tend to want to be right and make someone else wrong, and they cannot accept that both can be right at the same time, just expressing it differently. Language is the way the government has manipulated us by changing vocabulary or giving different meanings. For example, instead of saying our Father, our Son, and the Holy Spirit, they say the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And it seems like a small mistake but has a big ripple effect upon our realities. The same goes for punishment. Why did Jesus say you cannot punish? Because let's say you have a small child and you tell the child not to do something multiple times. Eventually, you punish the child. The second you punish your child, even if you thought it was nothing, you've created a point where you've punished, and by that seeded violence, what will happen now? The first day the child will cry. The second day it looks like nothing truly happened. But then you will realize what is truly going on, because once the child goes to school and is put in the same situation, the child will also punish other students, and the teacher will not understand why, because the teacher also punishes and doesn't understand that this causes more violence. By transmitting the whole logic behind our actions, we can help others understand why we do what we do and hopefully prevent misunderstandings and conflicts.